Sarah O'Sullivan, can you discuss how leases are handled in the fund financial statement?
Sure. So just thinking of fund accounting and, the GASB environment overall, this is what, GASB Statement 34 spelled out what financial statement requirements, how it's supposed to be presented in the government world, as we've all discussed before and know, is three primary fund types. You've got your government funds, your proprietary funds, and your fiduciary funds are the primary ones, and you've got sub-funds, categories underneath each of those. But what GASB prescribes and requires is for your government funds to be using more of I want to think about what's currently over the next year, what resources am I going to be used? And so you use what's called the modified accrual basis of accounting. And the really big thing that kind of sticks out for that one is you're not going to find these long-term assets on those and liabilities on those specific fund financials when you think about your capital leases you already have prior to even implementing 87, capital fixed assets, your long-term debt, those kind of things. But when you are operating within a proprietary or fiduciary fund, you're using a full accrual basis of accounting. And so you are going to look at those balance sheets for those specific funds and see fixed assets and capital leases and long-term debt. And so it's a different, it's a different set of terminology. It's a different kind of way that you're going to be recording things, which GL accounts are going to hit for each of those, a different way that you kind of look at it. Where it all kind of comes together is that when you are putting together your annual report, you're required to present government-wide financials on the full accrual basis. So while later in your report, you're going to have these individual government fund financials that are on modified accrual, you have to take those and convert them into full accrual for your government-wide so that everything's comparable. You're looking at everything, on the same level playing field. And so that requires a process. I know typically at year end, it's being done for when you're actually preparing your financial statements of what kind of conversion entries do I need to record to take what I recorded as modified accrual and now make it look like full accrual, like my proprietary and fiduciary funds look. And so really, when you're thinking about GASB 87 and adopting it, you're already doing this type of work. It's not like it's going to be anything different from what your overall process is for your capital leases currently. What you have to do to convert your fixed assets to get those on the books from modified to full accrual, as well as your bonds, your debt, your long-term liabilities. What's going to happen now is you're obviously bringing and making that lease population a lot larger because all your operating leases previously operating are now all finance leases. And so now you're going to want to think through your process of, I've got to capture that entire population now, make sure that it's complete. And so you want to be able to know that you're, separating them into the correct funds so that you're accounting for them properly and you get all your converting process correct when you're ready to put together your government-wide financials.
So before that polling question launched, I saw a lot of heads nodding on the panel. So does anybody have anything to add on the fund accounting side?
Yeah, there'd be one thing to add is one thing we haven't really touched much on is on the lessor side. So just as a reminder, you will be recording any lessor type leases in the individual fund statement versus the lessee would be in the government wide. So, and these are one leases don't forget about whenever you're looking at completeness. Make sure and ask, are there any, like parking lots or things that you're leasing out to organizations that would qualify as a lessor?
And I guess the final question that we'll have time to take today, do we have to apply GASB 87 at the fund accounting level or at the government-wide financial statement level?
So as we kind of stated earlier, you're going to do, if you're the lessee, you would do it at the government-wide level. But if you're doing any lessor, it would be at the fund level. So setting up that lessor, that lease receivable, and the lease payable at each individual fund. So which can, if you have a lot of those, you have to consider the different fund materialities if you have more than one fund that has these types of leases. Otherwise, the leasee, if you're a lessee leasing an asset, that would just be at the government-wide level and then looking at the government-wide statement kind of materiality. So those are the kind of different nuances on that.